Hey, D.
Hey, C. Happy New Year.
Happy freaking New Year. Happy 2017.
Finally. We made it. We made it this far.
All right.
This is D.
This is C.
And this is Black Meets World.
Listen to that. We ain't lost it. A whole year went by. We ain't lost it since.
I feel like I haven't seen you, but you only went to Costa Rica and Atlanta, right?
Yeah, just those places. Okay. Nowhere in a major. Nothing
only a few places. Okay, awesome. So we have a guest today.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
Christina Coleman, who works at Essence. Mm-hmm.
Thanks for coming.
No problem. I trekked all the way up here. Let's have some fun.
I love it. Yeah. Yes. All the way to the nether regions of
Harlem.
It's like another state.
Where do you live?
I'm in Brooklyn.
Oh. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. It's the only
if you
place
in Brooklyn,
to live in New York City.
Okay. All right. You know.
If you don't have a mic,
I'm sorry.
Not...
This other commentary in the back?
You're right. There was nothing directed towards you. Ooh.
I don't know who that is in the background.
I don't either.
I don't know what his name is. But yeah, no, it's the same concept. If you're in Harlem, it's like Brooklyn. Oof. It's a long distance relationship.
It's rough.
It's tough.
You know,
especially when it's cold.
Girl.
So it's very, like, all of a sudden, it's cold outside.
It's going to snow tonight. 80% chance.
Yep.
Seriously?
Yeah.
About 2
Oh, we got to be
You didn't
up
walk
out
over
of here.
that, like, salt on the ground when you was walking up to the building?
You know what? I did. And I walked from 121st Street, and it really wasn't that bad.
Oh, you're thinking it's springtime. Okay.
All right. So, Christina, you work at Essence. Can you just tell us a little bit about what you do, how you got there?
Yeah, sure. So I work at Essence. I'm the senior news and culture editor at Essence.com. And I just started in August. I'm a newbie, which is
awesome.
Nice because I'm still learning about the legacy. I'm meeting new people. It's really, really fun. But before that, I was at news1.com, which is
cool.
Radio 1 News 1. All that's owned by Kathy Hughes.
Yeah.
So
I worked at Radio 1.
Hey,
where?
Kathy.
In Atlanta.
Oh, okay, because I'm from PG, so you know.
Okay, yeah, that's what she...
Girl. Yeah. So, you know, we had that thing going on. And then before that, I was actually with Global Grind, so I was the news and politics editor there. And I also was one of the founding editors for SolangeSt.com.
You go, girl.
What?
You go, girl. See, we about to stand out, because you know we love some solo.
Listen.
Girl.
A seat at the table?
Oh, my God. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
So it's been quite a ride. And then before that, I was a science writer at NASA. So it's...
I'm sorry.
What?
Hold the fuck up.
What is... Wait, yeah. The questions. So many. What is a science writer?
Right.
Earth science writer. So I worked in the public affairs department. And so basically what we did was write the copy for the satellites, for whatever brochures or information they needed to get out to the public. So, hey, this is MPP, the satellite. You should know about it because it measures rainfall or whatever. And so that's what I did for them. In addition to helping them with the newsletter, which meant interviewing scientists and engineers about whatever projects they were doing and trying to like take all that science jargon and make it so that we can understand it.
Digestible.
Hard. Yeah.
You know what's funny? I was going to make a joke like, oh, that sounds fun. But in a nerdy way, it kind of sounds like, I mean, okay. Nope, I'm not. Okay.
I was actually going to say, are you like excited about Hidden Figures?
I am. I plan on, if I have some time, because girl, time.
It's hard to get.
It's what? To write like a POV about what it means to me to be like a woman that came from NASA and have that background.
Word.
Because even though I worked for NASA, I didn't know about Katherine Johnson. So that's, it's important to, uplift and uphold our people in STEM careers, which is the exciting part about working at NASA. But it was like that 3 months of writing one story. Like, what the fuck? What does this mean?
Yeah. You're probably looking up every other word. It's like a foreign language.
Have you ever dealt with a scientist or engineer?
I'm sorry. For those listening, I'm pointing at D because the analytical side of her is fully integrated to the fact that she's an engineer. I mean, I think
what
it works.
Kind of engineer are you?
It works well for your personality. You're meticulous. You're straight to the point. I appreciate it. That's what balances it out. I mean,
it's.
I was I'm technically a systems engineer by trade, but I work in management for operations and technology. So I apply it, but I wouldn't qualify myself as an engineer necessarily.
Yeah.
Don't discredit yourself.
That's fair. You right.
Girl, you an engineer.
Sorry, what did you graduate with?
An engineering degree.
Okay, then. Listen, what I graduate with? Not that.
So, right, and I just was going to ask you, like, did you know that you wanted to end up where you are? Like, what was your trajectory?
Yeah, I mean, I always knew I wanted to be a writer. NASA it's really that wild card that I don't even tell.
I was going to say, like, how'd you get there?
Well, I was an intern in high school. So I was at NASA for 7 years between like interning in high school, graduated from college, and then after college. And then it got to a point, like, I'm from PG County. I went to Howard University. I went back to PG County to work at NASA. And I was like, yo, if I stay with the government, my good old government job,
you pay for life.
I'm paid for life, but I'm gonna see everybody that I went to high school with at the local Fridays. Probably gonna marry my high school sweetheart, buy a home in Mitchellville, and be so bored.
Right.
Word.
So I had to quit my good government job and move to New York.
That's a blessing.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
That was hard.
It was. So
how long have you been in New York?
Was it worth it?
Yeah, was it worth it? And how long have you been?
How long have I been in New York? 5 years.
There goes that person we don't know talking again.
5
years. That's a long time.
No, he's the one that actually convinced me to sign the lease on my New York apartment.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I was like, I ain't doing this. He was like, you should do it.
Oh.
You only live once. All right. So I knew I always wanted to be a writer. And it just so happens that I got a job at Global Grind. Was their news and politics editor. I always freelanced for other publications, so it's not like I didn't have any writing experience outside of NASA at all. And then I'm just really blessed. I've been able to hold really amazing positions at a young age.
Excellent.
So news and politics editor at Global Grind, managing editor at News One, and now the senior news and culture editor at Essence, which is really great because they didn't have a news channel before. So I was hired in August to build that out, 2 months from the election, which was
word. It's so funny you said that because me and the unnamed person in the corner were talking about like, no shade to Essence, but I didn't even know they had like a politics news corner or like
brand new.
That's excellent.
It's brand
we
new.
need it.
How has that been? I mean, trying to build that out in the midst of the political climate and
it didn't make any sense to me. I love Essence. But this is when I got hired. I was like, it doesn't make any sense to me how we're in this historic election year, and this is not something that
we're talking
you guys were talking about before. And they had, they were trying to, but it's hard to change user behavior. It's hard to get your, that's a legacy audience to be like, listen, this is what you need to be interested
to
in.
lead the conversation.
Yeah.
Right. But the fact of the matter was this election was led by Black women. I mean, DNC was run by Black women.
Word.
I mean, even if you look at Hillary Clinton, I mean, she ain't Black, but she, this was a historic year for her. She became the nominee of a major party. So we had to jump into that conversation. And so August came, got on board mid-August, had to build out the election package. It was nuts. And now we're dealing with Trump.
So, speaking on Trump, he's elected. He's our president-elect. Allegedly.
No, I don't know. Is he?
What do you think, especially as a woman of color, as a woman who has worked at NASA, I'm guessing predominantly male, predominantly white, and now working at a company like Essence that is predominantly Black, skewing female. What do you think his presence in the White House, even in the world, will have on women's rights and
being a female journalist?
Yeah. I mean, if you watch the news just today, like in the second day of the new Congress, you'll see that we're facing an uphill battle. I mean, Paul Ryan just said that they are
the Planned Parenthood thing,
defunding Planned Parenthood. And that's just the first step. I mean, there already have been in the past year a lot of measures and legislation that are introducing really strict abortion laws. And so now you have the defunding of Planned Parenthood, which Planned Parenthood does not just offer abortions, which is something else we need to think about, because that means that so many people aren't going to get the health care they need, whether you're going for testing, whether you're going for your birth control, whether you're going for your just, annual pap smear. All that's done. And then the next step is taking away Roe versus Wade, which we know that this Republican-led Congress is going to do. So,
people like
that's just today. That's just today that we had to deal with all of that.
And wasn't the ethics board that they voted to?
Yes, the ethics watchdog that they wanted to gut.
Can you imagine?
Ethics panel.
It's just like, what are we going to do? We're going to, that person in the corner who tells us we're wrong. We actually going to remove them completely. So just do whatever the hell we want.
Did you, girl?
How?
Girl.
Houseway.
Girl. I mean, and I think that was the same day because it was the day they were sworn in. I don't know if you guys remember the gun control sit-in that John Lewis, Representative John Lewis, or Congressman John Lewis led last year after the Orlando shooting.
Right, because they were saying this is arbitrary. Why would they do such a thing? This is not a civil right. What? John Lewis is leading the charge.
John Lewis.
A living civil rights leader.
Right. But they were like live streaming from the floor because Paul Ryan told C-SPAN to cut off their cameras, which, unconstitutional.
Illegal.
Hello. So they passed a measure yesterday that said that if you are live streaming or taking photos on the House floor, then you will be fined.
Shut up.
No, I'm serious.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So John Lewis and all his goons got on the floor and was taking selfies and shit. It was kind of dope, but it's also like it's just the beginning of a lot of silencing that we're going to see.
And
from
also,
this new Congress.
I think also just having such a old school way of thinking that you have to adapt to the times, right? Mm-hmm. You're living in an era of where everything is completely social. You can get information in the click of a snap, but you're now going to implement this old school philosophy into literally what governs our entire United States. As you being in a position where you can kind of like bring these topics to light, what leads your projects? Like, you know what? These are XYZ topics I want to talk about. What kind of like is the agenda for Essence now that you're leading that charge?
Yeah, so first, the overall agenda for Essence this year in 2017 is kind of normalizing womanhood, Black womanhood across the board.
I like that, normalizing. Yeah,
I mean, and I hate to even use that term, like we're not normal already, but I want to serve the woman that you don't think that Essence serves. And so we're building a lot of content on that aside from political. I just want to let y'all know because we Black women up in here. But we're complex. We're the banker. Yeah, we're the respectable banker that an Essence would serve, But we're also the single mom who works at McDonald's. We're also the sex worker. We're also the woman that's dealing with domestic violence. We're also the woman that's been sexually abused or assaulted. And we need to tell those stories to normalize our experiences and let people know we're human, right? And so that's what we want to do. So we're telling a lot of stories this year. In addition, we're also resisting. And we have to be, careful about that because we're journalists and we have to be objective in a way, but we're going to tell the truth. And I think even just truth-telling is resistance in this Trump era because everything is fabricated that comes out this man's mouth.
Still don't get it.
Yeah. And all over Facebook, like there have been outlets that are trying to actually determine what's true and what's not and just like putting these outlets into different categories. Yeah. So I think for us as Black people, we have Essence as a fallback. Like I feel like Essence and Jet were like the two,
and Ebony.
And Ebony. Sorry.
No shade to
top three. Sorry, my bad. No. Top three. That we reference for the news, our news especially. And so now that there's a trillion outlets, essentially, it's really hard to filter what's real and what's not.
Who grew up with like?
Go ahead.
No, it's like who grew up with like Essence and Ebony magazines in their house?
Who didn't?
I loved it.
Yes. This is a complete side note, but my parents are selling the house that I grew up in, and so we've been cleaning out the house for months. And my mom literally every room of the house, she has these stacks of Jets. Like,
that's so cool.
What are we gonna do with these? I was like, well, you have to keep them.
Oh yeah,
I was like, well, Obama's on this one, and Michael Jackson's on this one. Like, what do you, what else are we gonna do?
So in my house, on my desk, I actually went to. I don't even want to tell y'all this because I ain't a hipster, but I went to the Brooklyn Flea, and this Black woman was selling old Jet magazines for like $1. So I bought a whole bunch of them and framed them and put them in my house.
Sweet.
For me, it's like a testament of being a Black journalist and having Black media, like where I came from, like what I'm doing, the legacy that I'm carrying on. So it's real dope. So if you need anything to do with the magazines, you can pass them right on over here.
Okay.
Or you can do that yourself. It's a nice.
That's a really dope idea.
Yeah. But Black media is needed more now than ever. Because even your major news outlets, who I will not name, CNN.
No. All right.
I'm just saying. I don't know if y'all knew, but Trump tweeted out that
that's a whole other. We could talk about that.
My face completely changed. Go ahead.
Donald Trump's Twitter account.
There are two examples, right? Trump tweeted out yesterday. I think it was yesterday. That. That Congress shouldn't be worried about the ethics panel right now. Like, it was bad timing.
I saw that.
Every major news outlet, their headline read, House Republicans pull back after Donald Trump tweet. But that's not even what happened. So, like, we can consider that this might be irresponsible, but fake news, because that's not even what happened. What happened was there was public outrage from citizens and activists and organizations who called their representatives, flooded the phone lines, and then that's when they pulled back. So it wasn't that Trump influenced something or it's his first good deed as president-elect. That's not what happened. And, I mean, it's the next day, and those headlines are still the same.
Right.
It's crazy.
I feel like this speaks to a lot of the history that we've seen in like silencing protests and silencing movements and just having to fight for the voice that we know we have, but is completely, I don't know, like I need another word for silence because it's not even that. It's just completely diminished by how the media portrays us and what they want us to know.
It's so sad. It's exhausting. It's a real exhausting job. So we just got to make sure we're telling the truth, and we're telling them from a nuanced position. Like, we know that, for example, see, I'm sorry, I got all these receipts today, but I also just came from work, so I'm like, did y'all hear about this news story? But the kidnapping in Chicago, which people are attributing, did you guys hear about that?
No.
Oh my God.
Educate us.
We both shaking our heads.
Okay, so 3 black teenagers, and I think the other woman was 24 years old, kidnapped a mentally challenged white man and held him for a number of hours and tortured him. They cut his hair. They made him drink toilet water. I think I read. Yeah, and then in the background there were a lot of anti-Trump, anti-white statements made, and they put this on Facebook Live.
What?
Yes.
These are children.
These are like 18, 19 years old.
What was the purpose of this?
Who knows? Just it's
shooting shit.
I'm not even going to try to justify that.
Okay.
Like this was terrible. No, it was a horrific act. Nobody should be treated that way.
Right.
But as soon as it came out that they were black and the victim was white, it was, oh my God, Black Lives Matter supporters, kidnap and torture, mentally ill victim.
I hate white people.
Oh.
And you see how that's problematic, right?
Yeah.
But if you're a white outlet, you're not going to report it from that stance. You know, you're not going to report it from this is irresponsible because you're attributing this horrific act to people that have nothing to do with this Black Lives Matter movement or understand what Black Lives Matter even means. Because they've said time and time again, the founders, the chapters, that they don't condone any violence. We know that the sole goal is to dismantle state violence against black people. Like, we're telling y'all not to kill us and brutalize us. Why would we do that to other people?
Right.
You know? But black media.
You have to have people who are going to check others. Like, if you have people who all look the same, come from same backgrounds, right? You're not going to have anyone to check them when they put that article out or they put that headline out. Because that's clearly not what the case is.
I've had to, am I telling too much here? But
speak your truth, girl. Speak your truth, girl.
I've actually had to check a number of media outlets for things. Even if I know someone there, we have a relationship with them, or whatever the case may be, to just be like, hey, you might want to look at this headline or change this headline because that's not the way to go. And that's when you realize, like, wow, newsrooms don't look like what I'm used to. Like, Global Ground was a very millennial site. Russell Simmons owned it. My newsroom was very diverse. We had all types of people. But at the core of it, we were like a black millennial site, right? News One, the same thing. I think NASA was the only place I worked. Obviously, St. Huron, girl.
Everybody was
girl.
Afro, shea butter, all of that.
I love it.
Just vibes. NASA was probably the only place newsroom I worked that was predominantly white. But it's when you realize that, damn, I'm really sheltered myself because I've only worked in black media, really. And these other newsrooms are completely white and mostly male. So you're not even getting the perspective from a woman, which is crazy.
So I have a question, like, in general, do you think that it would change things if there were more people of color writing the stories versus telling them? And I say telling because the face of media is one thing, but whoever is producing the story behind the scenes is another.
For sure, but yes and no. So you mean like say I'm in a newsroom and I'm writing scripts for a broadcast journalist, whatever. I'm at, hypothetical
Megyn
CNN.
Kelly, who's now moving
we're not
to
talking about that right now.
Oh, girl, that's
We're
like
not
my
talking
Tommy
about her.
Lauren. They in the same boat for me.
That's her older sister. You ain't know? The apple don't fall far.
Wow.
No.
Like,
dangerous. Not for real life.
Okay, I was like,
Oh.
You know what? Bye.
I was
no,
like,
I wasn't, but you kept going. I was like, wait a
me
minute.
too. I was like, and then and the way you looked at me, I was like,
when y'all got quiet and started looking at me, I was like, let me clear this up. Fake news.
Right. No, it's funny because I noticed Megyn Kelly started getting a little less right-winged lately. And I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Well, you know what that was about,
now
right?
so she can move the fuck out?
Well, yes. But also, she needed us to cape for her because of that whole like sexual assault thing. And it's like when your back is up against the wall, now you have to be the victim, and you get more bees with honey. So she was like, oh, let me tone down this rhetoric and let me be the victim for a second. But you know what? She's dangerous and trashy. And NBC literally hired the woman who passionately got on TV and said that Santa Claus and Jesus were white, and
I forgot that was that bitch. Let me tell you something. You remember this when it happened?
no, ma'am.
She literally was arguing the fact that Santa Claus is obviously white. Why would we have a black Santa? That makes no sense. Because Jesus and Santa are obviously one and the same.
No, look at me. Look at me. She got on TV and said, look at me.
Oh,
look at me. No, I swear to God. Do y'all not remember this?
I remember
this at all.
because
She was like, I have to tell y'all something, America. Like, let your children watch this. Like, Santa Claus is white and he is only white. Like, almost tears coming out her eyes.
Oh no, I didn't see that. I heard about this maybe because I was like, I remember hearing about it. I remember being in the news, but I don't remember her telling like, I just want y'all to know.
Every Santa in
all my life I had to fight to let people know.
And it was based on this article, like Aisha from Slate, and I don't know if she's at Slate now, but another amazing black journalist wrote like this POV about like Santa Claus can be whoever you want him to be, and got her fired up. It was crazy, but NBC hired her though. So
NBC in their new direction, and I don't know if this is because like once they got acquired by Comcast, they started becoming a lot more like conservative. But you saw like everybody they started firing, right? It's just like okay,
who is Essence owned by?
Time Inc.
Oh,
a company might be familiar with.
I should have known that.
Yeah, Time Inc. So we have a lot of partners. Which you know what, Essence readers.
Because y'all with
can I have the floor?
Yeah.
No, we're not with L, but we are with so some of our brands that we cross syndicate with are People, Fortune, Entertainment Weekly, Real Simple, a bunch of places. But people are really, really mad that we're owned by Time, which I understand as a black woman, right?
When was it acquired by? Do you know?
I have no idea. It was before my time, but without understanding that we're still very, very we're still very black. Like, our editor-in-chief is a black woman.
What's her name?
Vanessa DeLuca.
She spoke at a panel, and someone asked, like, how are you so brave to, talk about these things, what's going on in Black America and stuff like that. She was like, honestly, because it was just us. She was like, we didn't have to have a filter because I was just talking from our perspective.
Right.
And that's what made them so successful.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's real.
That's all the way
There's
real.
no one like checking you on like, oh, that's not appropriate. That's not like, appropriate to say.
But even now, I think people assume because we're owned by Time Inc. that we're getting checked all the time. And we're not. Like, there is no agenda. There is no, we don't get called into rooms and they don't say, you can't cover this. We're very much like, this is the black perspective and we are very unapologetic about it. So if you want to if you want to syndicate, which means like people will pick it up or whatever, you can do that. But know that this is like from our lens.
Word.
Okay. But it's good because, we actually did a list of like the top black culture moments in 2016. And that did really great. Like a lot of brands upheld that piece. And it was surprising for me because it was the first time since I've been there that I shared something with the group as a whole and that people were really receptive to it. So it was good that they're picking that up.
Good.
I know.
Making strides.
Making strides. So we wanted to ask you about Michelle Obama's interview with Oprah and the message it sends to like urban youth about empowerment and stereotyping. And we feel like, that's what you guys are also trying to combat at Essence. But just sort of like the image that Michelle Obama maybe has played in your life or like in general, like how you guys view this whole, especially in terms of politics, like people still calling her an ape, or a monkey in heels, and like
an elected official said that,
a non, trashy first lady. I mean,
somewhere in West Virginia, where people
no,
don't
there's
go to
another
die.
one who like ran for governor of.
I was a man.
There's multiple
what's
people.
What's his name? I cannot remember right now, but yeah, he was like, I wish Obama would get mad cow disease and that, Michelle would go live with the apes in Africa.
What's his name? Carl Palladino.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Ken for that. It just and just like the way that they act like she is, like, oh, she's a terrible like mother, and she's not what we would want in a first lady, and she's not the epitome of class. I'm just like, what are y'all looking at? Like, I don't understand.
You know what? It doesn't matter what she does. Somebody's always going to find fault in it. You know, she's like, my feminism is being a mom. People have a problem with that.
Right.
Mind your business. No, I'm serious. She's like, in her little cute videos, like, turn up for what? In the garden holding turnips and kale and shit.
Right.
And people are mad. Like, it's just, for me, what Michelle Obama proves or shows is how nasty people are to black women.
Yes.
And how much we need each other. Because we're only going to advocate for ourselves. Nobody in this world. I love black men, but not even y'all sometimes. Which is a whole nother conversation. Look at them looking at us.
We can get to that. Look. Everybody got uncomfortable.
Everybody look back like.
Have you been on Twitter lately? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Word.
We are the only people that really advocate for ourselves. And I think Michelle Obama shows that. And you can't do anything right for America or the people in America. So you know what? Can I curse?
Yes,
But
girl.
fuck everybody. Fuck all of them. So that's what she shows. I'm gonna be who I am. I'm going to take care of my family. I am going to uphold whatever platform she wanted to uphold as first lady, and I don't care. She did not give a fuck. She was just fabulous and graceful and amazing, and she showed
graceful.
us that we can do it, and you don't have to worry about everybody else or what everybody else is saying.
Honestly, I still watched the first inauguration video with Beyonce singing at last. Just like that whole moment was so classy to me. I still shed a tear. Anyway,
They're the epitome of like life goals. Like, you
word,
think about
like
people who are not only successful, but I feel like they also have a very genuine spirit about themselves. Like, it's one thing to be a politician. We understand that there's always going to be some bullshit that comes with it. But damn, if they don't come off being genuine. I would love to have Michelle Obama as a mentor. Like, she seems like she would be an authentic person to give me like real advice, and when sugarcoated, would just give it to me straight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
totally
You know
agree.
what I love about her is that we can have access to her in a way that she's not so respectable. And I think black people deal with that a lot, where it's like, that's a certain type of woman. Like, you can't be her, or you can't relate to her because she's so respectable, right? And she just feels so down to earth. So she still has like that grace and that, that class that we love, but I still have access to her. She's still accessible to me, and that if we went to dinner and had some wine, we could be like Kikian.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, girl,
Well, and I don't think that we've seen that. Like,
put your tongue out.
I love it.
so compare, and I don't know if this is like a question that is even easy to answer, but like compared to other first ladies.
Who?
I was about to say, who are we talking about at this point?
No. I just mean there's 43 others, and I guess are there 43?
I don't know who was married in the past.
But yeah,
Were they married in
Where
like
they
the
at?
early 19?
most of them are married. But like,
Who wasn't married? Who's the president that
I
was
don't know. I'm thinking of someone in my head, and I can't remember. Huh? Yeah, like Grover Cleveland or somebody random. But anyway, my question is just like for the ones who have done something for the country. So there's like certain first ladies whose names we always hear. Do you think
Eleanor?
or Jackie and whatever. Like, do you think that Michelle's going to be one of those that we hear in a positive light going forward in politics?
Absolutely.
Fuck yes.
No, listen, because I don't know. Like,
I mean, there's going to be... They are doing so much to erase the Obama legacy. But
Right.
what is lasting are not the policies. It's not the legislation. It's how they made us feel. And people are going to remember that forever.
Word.
Right.
I don't think that we understand yet what it means to have had a black family in the White House for 8 years.
Yeah.
And the impact it's had on our children. Or just us. I don't think we've even sat down to think about what that meant to see like a black woman with like a press and curl,
Yes, girl.
Usually she wrapped her hair at night or maybe put pin curls in. They had Al Green at the White House. Flag serve happened at the White House. Like, we really haven't sat down to just let that sink in. And what does that mean? Like, our parents didn't have that, but we had that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we're millennials, but we have that.
yeah.
Right.
So I don't even know. I don't think we even know the extent what that means, but people are going to remember them forever.
Yeah.
And then she did, some positive things.
Amazing things. And she
Yeah,
also
people are
was
talking about her political career. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. No, just basically say the same thing. Like, it also was a crucial time that they were in the White House during like basically the turn of like the social media age, when Facebook was like just now. Because when did Facebook get open to like people outside of college? Like what?
I think 2007.
I was gonna say 7 or 6.
Like
late 6.
Right
I made
around
my
there?
Facebook in 2008.
Wait, do y'all
that's
remember
got
when
elected.
like you would log on to Facebook and it would tell you where somebody was on the campus?
Yes, it did. What?
Nope.
Everybody
You'd be
got
like,
caught.
oh, this bitch lying. She Meridian like shit. You remember that?
Yo, I remember specifically because I remember I called my roommate and I was like, "Girl, I know exactly where you in ECB. I went to the University of Georgia." I was like, "Girl, you over there by the athletes."
Oh my
wow.
God, just
That's
telling
before my
all
time.
your business.
All your business. And this is before we knew about geo-tracking or anything, because it didn't snuck up on you. There was no update.
No.
It just all of a sudden would show where you're writing your messages.
Facebook was
Creeping.
damn,
Big
it
Brother
was.
before Big Brother.
Or don't be messing with a dude and like you. Were we texting a lot then? Because I don't even think we were like texting a lot then.
Yeah, because you had the flip phones. You,
You know,
had
and
the
he'd be
look.
like, I'm in Drew, I'm chilling, but your location is Carver Hall. I'm not really understanding right now what's going on, but
That's funny.
So for those who didn't go to Howard, the proximity of Carver to Drew is
that about.
a mile
Not even a mile.
on foot.
Opposite side of campus.
I ain't never walked to Carver for Howard.
Mac like
people.
that was me. Mac like
I ain't
that
never
was
been-
me.
I've also never been to Drew. So,
Is that an all boys dorm?
yeah, but I'm lying.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, this is before my time.
Yeah.
Facebook was open to the public well before
So-
I got to college.
Oh, really?
At
What
least
year did
3
you get
years.
to college?
Girl.
2010. Yeah.
You know, she keeps
Look
me.
at her face. Yeah, 2010.
Wait, let me compute.
24. Going on
Oh my
25.
God, that's such a good age.
It's fun. Yo, we say this all the time.
God, it's such a good age.
Yeah.
Best years.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 30 this year and 24.
Bam,
well,
bam, bam, bam.
I'm really excited to turn 30.
Somebody else we know is
Yeah.
getting ready to turn 32.
Thanks, D. I appreciate the shout out.
Oh, when's your birthday?
May 9th.
So mad.
Nice. Are you going somewhere?
Yeah,
You
I'm
going
doing
to Cuba? Everybody going to Cuba.
No,
for their
I just
30th.
got back. Well, I mean,
You
well,
going to Cuba?
I'm going to do it.
See?
nice. Oh, but Christina, girl, we got to talk because I be traveling.
Where-
oh,
but I'm
when's
doing.
your
I
birthday?
just decided I'm doing a visa.
November.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
You're doing
I'm
a visa for your 30th?
Yeah, it's called C's 30th birthday party.
Who's invited?
Yeah, it's details are to come. Chill. So I'm doing Vegas, Ibiza, and then I'm doing like a big blowout in Atlanta.
Oh, so you popping.
Baby.
That's what okay.
Hello.
Okay.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm actually kind of like, it makes me nervous thinking about it because it's a lot of pressure, and I feel like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sleep or
Yeah, I'm
Get
not
a lot
doing
of rest.
any traveling this year.
my liver's gonna hate me. But I'm excited.
That's really nice.
Why you not doing any traveling? You got plans this year?
Yes, I have plans.
What you got planned? I see something on your hand.
I'm getting married.
Hey, congratulations!
Thank
Oh,
you.
Where's the wedding?
It's in Brooklyn. It's going to be in Red Hook, Brooklyn.
Nice on the
Yeah,
water.
On the water in this like rustic industrial
Is that this
building.
year? Or
That's
December?
in September because we're tripping and we got to plan a wedding in 9 months. But,
Oh,
That's
it's all
beautiful.
good.
Oh my
Okay.
god! Wait, did you just get engaged?
I got engaged in September, but I didn't think about anything wedding related. One, it was a total surprise.
Oh.
Like I was like, me? Like when he got down on one knee, I was like, "Are you sure?"
Oh.
Because I just was not even expecting it. But also, I had just gotten hired at Essence, and
Wow, yeah.
it was the middle of the election season, election cycle. So I just was not. I was like, "I'm gonna put this on the back burner." I had a lot to do. And so I focused on work. So I think like this week is the first week that I'm even thinking like, okay, what's going on? But we got the biggest part handled.
Venue.
We got the venue.
Boom.
Well, maybe like the honeymoon will be also your 30th birthday, and you just turn up.
Well, yeah,
for
I don't
everything
plan
at
on
one time.
going. So I'm tripping because me and my very best friend in my whole life, like in the world, we're getting married a week apart. So I don't plan on going on a honeymoon until like fall.
Gotcha.
Nice. You
Yeah.
got time.
That's love, though.
Yeah.
Take a nice
we are
long
tripping.
extended.
But it's nice to plan with her. Like it's real cute little
Because y'all
black
both
love
like
situation.
on the same time frame, pretty much.
Yep.
Like, girl,
That's
you
cute.
got your food. You got the cake.
Oh, she's helping me because I'm just not that girl. So she sent me her spreadsheet.
I love it,
Yes, for the spreadsheet. You know, I lived through a spreadsheet.
I hate spreadsheets.
girl. Me and you're on the same page. I'm like, I hate planning. I like executing. I hate planning.
No, I specifically picked a venue that provided everything. Like, I was like, y'all got food? Cool. You got linens? Cool. Because when I realized that women love this shit. They're like, I'm going to go and pick my linen specifically, and I'm going to rent chairs and tape. You got to get forks.
Jesus.
Like, when you rent a venue, this is not, y'all think I'm playing. Like, you have to rent your, like, plates and shit. So I was like, I'm not that detail oriented. What you got? You got a package? Give it to me. I'm not.
Wow.
So for a wedding in New York, for those who are not familiar with the cost of weddings in general, or just like having it up here, what does that like average out to that you're estimating? Not to be all up in your pocket.
I
No,
was
it's
just about to say,
fine.
why are you in her pocket?
I mean, but it's just an average.
I'm a
sorry.
writer. I'm poor, so it's fine. But listen, I went to one place in Brooklyn, and I was like, I love this place. It's like this little hotel, real cute, in Williamsburg. And the woman was like, okay, so I was like, so how much is it going to be? She was like, it's going to be about $350 to $450 per person.
Like, it hurt me just when you started.
Are they going home with a puppy?
No.
How many people are guests?
150. So, and this
And that's
is
a
crazy.
relatively-
Can you believe it? I know, I'm tripped. It's not me though. It's him. It's him. His family is huge. And so my initial idea, I was like, yo, let's just like take our little savings and go to Greece and get married, and then go, like, that will be our honeymoon. I love it. Right? And he was like, I'm down. I'm with it. Then the family came in. We can't wait. And he was like, nah, we got to get these gifts. So what we're going to do is have this wedding.
I ain't
was
mad.
like,
I ain't
damn.
mad at him. I ain't
Yeah.
mad.
So it's a lot of money. Like, to be honest, we're looking at like 30,000.
That's an average cost.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
cheap.
that's
Yeah.
and that's like on the low end, but that's
a very
good.
low end. Yeah. And like, I picked out my wedding dress. I haven't tried it on yet, but I'll be online on Pinterest. The shit's $400. I'm not about to.
So good.
I'm not.
I like you. See,
do
we over here
everything.
bonding,
I do
girl. Let me
everything
find out
on
we're
Pinterest.
gonna be friends.
We can be friends in real life.
Hey, girl.
I'm not spending $6,000.
But a dress you gonna wear how many times? Once.
No.
Right.
No, I'm with you on that. 100%.
Word. I like
I
it.
would much rather spend that money on alcohol
Or a trip.
or a trip, but like
That's
open
the
bar
most-
for everybody.
Well, that's
Girl, that's
If
about
you
it.
having a wedding-
Multiply that times like 10.
yeah. But that's the most important part. I was like, if we're gonna have a wedding, we gotta have the best open bar. So like, the open bar is gonna have like Macallan for those of y'all.
Oh,
who are
you
into, like,
fancy,
She's like, I mean,
girl.
that's top
I was
shelf.
like, I don't care what you could serve us peanut butter and jelly, but what's going on with the bar?
We got a liquor specialist over here in the room, too. He's like,
so
yup.
that's good, right?
I went on my invitation. I'll wait.
You can actually
the
send
only
them all
thing.
to this address, and we'll just
Got
disperse.
it.
Got
Okay.
it.
Awesome.
All right. Well, that sounds fun. Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
So, I think we've learned. You've told us so many things. What's like the thing that you're most excited about that's coming up at Essence?
I think for me, it's just like I said before. Like my goal for Essence in 2017 is to make sure that Essence is accessible to everybody. I just think for so long it's a legacy brand. Everybody loves it for like the Black love, for the beauty, for the celebrity. And I want people to know that they can come to us for everything. We have to be the authority for Black women.
Word.
We have to be, and that means specifically like for news, because there's so much fake news out there that we have to make sure that we're telling these stories and we're getting the real deal. So we have to go to the source, and we can't back down. Like, it's really easy to get pulled into that news cycle. If everyone's talking about this one thing, then you got to talk about this one thing, because it's a traffic game, right? Like,
Right.
so if that's what's popping, that's what's trending, Donald Trump, then we got to talk about it. But we got to be brave. Mm-hmm. We have to step back and be like, we're going to talk about this instead, because this is what really matters to our people. And also just making sure that, we have every woman. I am so serious about that. Like, we have every woman. I want to talk to every type of Black woman there is, because there's so many. Like, we run the gamut. We're not just.
We're multidimensional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, and this is a fault of ours. Like, as educated Black people, we also live in a bubble, and I have to remind myself of that too. Like, not everybody is the Black like me. You know what I mean? Like, we went to Howard, and it's a very, like, especially HBCUs, it's like a very small community, and you forget that the rest of the world is out there, because you're just like, hey, Howard,
Right.
Hampton. I got shot at Hampton. My fiance went to Hampton.
Oh,
Okay.
the other HU. Or should I say that? Or can I say that?
It's the Institute, but it's all good.
Oh.
Y'all gonna get some shots fired, right?
It's fine. It's fine. I decided to marry one, so y'all good.
Okay.
Y'all just came up. Yeah, just telling that, just being that place for every woman.
So
you know?
where can we find you on like social media or?
Yeah, you could just follow me at Chrissy Cole on Instagram and Twitter. That's ChrissysYCole.
Awesome.
Yes, and then go to essence.com. We just got a makeover. So the site is popping. Product really, look at them.
Everybody takes out phones.
We literally brought our phones out right now.
Yeah, we just got a facelift. So the site is amazing. So we had a party to launch it. So yeah, go to essence.com. You can see the stories.
Awesome.
We have a lot of new content. So in addition to doing the hair and the beauty, we're also, real big on Black love right now, which is also a revolutionary act. It's a part of resistance. And so we want to be the authority on that. Mm-hmm. And then our news and culture section, which is going to be all things politics, and, this Trump presidency, which we are keeping an eye on every single day.
We're just up here praying and hoping.
What?
It's
Nicki
like
Minaj confirms Meek Mill breakup. Girl,
Well,
I got
this is why you need to be on
I got to get right on the website.
No, and then the first thing I saw because you were talking about Black love, it says it's not over. 4 famous couples who called off their divorce. I was like, you better tell it.
I'm just scrolling, and you got this big ass tear in between Meek and Nicki. All right, well, y'all check out essence.com, Chrissy Cole on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.
It's been great. So fun.
This has been inspiring.
Yeah,
And I need to get on my politics game.
I know.
I need to do a lot more.
You made me realize I need to read more, watch more of the news. I was like, I did not know about these kids in Chicago.
I had no idea.
I'm glad it hasn't made major. Like
Low key.
it has.
It has.
Damn.
You turn on the news right now, that's all they're talking about right
Damn.
now.
Damn.
Which is, you kind of like, damn.
They call it a hate crime,
No, they got charged with hate crime.
but alt-right
Black
group isn't
existence
a
is
hate crime.
crimes, but
Okay,
Anyway.
that's good to know.
Which is,
Right. No,
so we got time because we ain't got time.
We got time on the next episode.
on the next episode if you have time to say. All right, y'all. So
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you for
can find
listening.
us
Go ahead.
on the tweeters on at Black Meets World. Also on Instagram, right, D?
Okay, I'll go. Black_meets_world. And on Facebook at Black Meets World. You can also email us at
blackmeetsworld@gmail.com.
or info@blackmeetsworld.com.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you, guys.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Bye.
Cheers.